I thought smart glasses were weird. I mean, at one point, I was literally against them. I mean, a camera on the face, especially one that's made by Meta of all companies, I was like, no. Everything about that to me screamed a pretty bad idea. Then I went to AWE 2026, which is one of the biggest XR, aka VR, MR, AR conventions out there. And I watched people use these all day, not for demos or for, really doctored keynotes, but actual in-person real life use. Not trying to sell you anything, but it's living day to day, and that really changed my perspective. These are the Ray-Ban Meta Headliner Low Bridge Gen 2 smart glasses. So I've had these for about a month now, and I wear them pretty much until the battery pretty much dies. And honestly, I think I have a perspective that you're not going to really hear in a lot of other reviews out there, being somebody that's in the, XR space that's never had smart glasses ever. And another thing I did, I basically turned off every feature that they want you to use with these glasses and still had a good experience. Let's talk more. Quick disclosure, guys, these frames were bought by yours truly. So there's no, sponsor in terms of sending me these at all. There will be an affiliate link in the description below if you want to get some, obviously to support the channel and help your boy out. And the only thing really sponsored about this video are the actual lenses in these frames, because they're from VR Rock. So shout out VR Rock for sending me these transition lenses, because your boy needed them, especially being blind. If you want a good deal on any type of lenses for any VR headset or these smart glasses, then go to VR Rock. They got good prices, great shipping, and use code MarioDudeVR for 10% off. Help me, help you, help me, help you save some money. And like I said before, this is a review from somebody who's never ever had a pair of smart glasses. Let's start with the thing that everyone asks about. How is the camera? The camera is surprisingly good, and I honestly didn't expect that. Here's what you're working with: a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. So the video maxes out at 3K at 30 frames per second, or you could drop it down to 1080p and get 60 frames per second. And there is a 3-minute cap per clip. And honestly, that 3-minute cap has never once been a problem for me, because I don't really see these being meant for long record sessions. These to me are for quick shots, basically to capture something that's happening right now that you would miss if you had to get your phone out of your pocket or something like that. If you're trying to shoot a 20-minute vlog on your face, this just ain't it. I would say go get a GoPro. For sure. The stabilization is genuinely solid. Walking footage holds up way better than I really expected it to. Where it kind of falls apart is low light. I mean, low light is a little rough, not crazy rough, but if the sun's going down, you're gonna get a little bit of noise and stuff like that in the footage. I use the Meta Ray-Bans at the gym when nobody's around, and just for like POV, content creator stuff. And pulling your footage off your glasses onto your phone is mad easy. You literally just transfer it from the app to your local storage, and then boom, that's it. And so where do these fit in my day-to-day? And honestly, everywhere. These are like genuinely so convenient. I mean, I literally built a shed in these glasses. I've cut grass in these. I work out in these. Sweat really is a non-issue. As far as I can tell, they've held up pretty fine. But if you're doing anything active, I definitely recommend getting some grips to go on the back of the glasses, because they really do help a lot. Okay, now we got to talk about audio. And honestly, it's probably my biggest use case for these, hands down. Man, these replace my earbuds for sure. The speakers on these are fire. I mean, they're open ear, so you can hear everything, and they work great in most situations. And it's great to be able to hang out with like my kids and be able to listen to like a podcast or take a call, and just hands free, and you're not really closed off like to the rest of the world like you would be kind of using earbuds. So having something that's just kind of over the ear that you can engage and disengage or just like a tap of the button is just so good. The call quality is also good. I haven't heard any complaints about that. The only weakness I would say is that when it comes to kind of loud areas, that's kind of where the audio quality definitely drops. So for instance, when I use these to like cut my yard, obviously lawnmowers are pretty loud. So I have to have like special kind of these like kind of like earbud attachments on the glasses, which I didn't even know they made. and they make a big difference. And I will link those in the description below if I'm not showing them in the B-roll and stuff like that. And keeping kind of that audio trend going, the best feature that I have used in terms of audio with these is the conversation focus. So with the conversation focus, you can literally look at somebody and it enhances their voice so you can hear them in loud settings. So I was at dinner while we were at DreamCon 2026, which is a great convention, by the way, if you never went. Most of the B-roll you're gonna see is probably from DreamCon anyway. But we were sitting down eating, and I have okay hearing, not the best hearing, it's okay, decent. And I was sitting across from my friend, and I had two friends in front of me, and they were talking, and like I couldn't hear them. So I was like, okay, this is like the one time I can use the conversation focus feature. And so I turned it on, and you could it's whoever you're looking at, basically, it enhances the audio so that you can hear them more clear. And oh my god, it works so well. Now, this is one of the reasons why I was kind of mad at Meta, because they were going to put that behind a paywall. I'm like, no, keep that open, because a feature like that sells the glasses. And honestly, this really should be one of the features that Meta really should market using these glasses, because I feel like people who have hearing disabilities and stuff like that, that would be perfect for them. Because even me being a decent hearer, it was like a game changer in those type of environment. There's also live translation stuff too, but I haven't used that because I haven't been around anybody in a minute that doesn't that speaks multiple languages. I put it like that. And real quick, guys, while you're here, make sure you like and subscribe, hype the video, man, so we can push the content further, because that really does help small channels. So if you rock with your boy so far, boost that video, please. All right, now we got to talk about Meta AI, and this is where I'm probably going to lose some people and gain some people. So stick with me. I'm telling you, I have my reasons. So I turned all the Meta AI features off. Now, the conversation focus might be one, but you can enable that and disable that at will while you're talking and stuff like that. But everything else I turned off. I'm not trying to do, hey Meta, or anything like that. I'm not trying to, hey Meta, what is this I'm looking at? I'm not doing all that. I personally think it's kind of not needed. Personally, I just never was into those type of features anyway. Now, if I'm traveling in like a foreign country or something like that, maybe. But I just don't want Meta listening to me all day. So turn all that stuff off. My first reason is that Meta AI just sucks. It's not good for much of anything outside of like basic questioning. Now, personally, if I'm gonna waste the water to use AI, that's essentially what's going on. I'd rather use like Claude or Gemini to get a good answer, respectfully. And Meta AI just isn't going to provide that for me on a day-to-day. So I turned that off, and I turned off the voice activation because of our second reason. And reason two is one that I think a lot of you guys are going to want to hear. So back in February, two Swedish newspapers basically published an investigation along with a journalist in Kenya. They found out that footage from these glasses was going to human data annotators at a contractor in Nairobi to help train Meta's AI. Those workers described seeing people undressing, bank cards, just genuinely private activities, if you catch my drift. Now, Meta obviously is going to lie and say faces get blurred and stuff like that automatically before that review happens. But the workers have said that those filters fail, especially in bad lighting, and there's a lawsuit over it right now. So when I saw that whole lawsuit, that turned me off of Meta glasses for a while. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be like peeing or something, and then my Johnson goes to a server, I guess, in a different country and seen by somebody in Nairobi. I wasn't going for it. So I did a little bit more research to kind of figure out how the Meta AI works with the glasses. And I found out some things. So I found out that every time you invoke the Meta AI saying, hey, Meta, and stuff like that, that's when those images and those videos get sent over to the server. Now, personally, I opt out of everything that could potentially be sent to Meta and all that stuff. If you guys want a video on how to kind of secure your Meta glass and stuff like that, I would gladly go over that. Just let me know in the comments below. And if all else fails, while I'm doing something that's sensitive, I turn off the glasses with the switch that's on the side over here. People never really mention that these actually have a switch on them. So you can turn it off. So if I'm going into the bathroom, I turn them off. If I'm changing my kids and stuff like that, turn them off just in case. Even though I have all the AR features off, you can never really trust tech companies, and I trust really no company, to be honest with you. I mean, even if this wasn't Meta, I would still be concerned about what they're doing with the data. So you literally can just turn them off when you're going to the bank or and stuff like that. I don't take them to work. I do work in sensitive areas at work and stuff like that. So do I lose a lot of features doing that? Yeah, I do. And only thing I really need is the conversation focus and the audio and then the occasional camera usage that I can turn off and on. Because using them in public does get a little dicey sometimes. And let's kind of parlay into that. Public use of Meta glasses is and was a little nerve-wracking for me at first. I'm like, okay, I'm going around with these glasses. People might think I'm creeping. I mean, you can tell when people turn them on because of the light. But not everybody knows that the light goes off. They just think you're recording them all the time. I haven't had anybody press me in public with them, but I do have rules I set for myself when I go out my Meta Ray-Bans. So if I'm going to a daycare, these come off. I don't want anybody thinking that I'm trying to record kids. Even if I'm like in the gym, I purposely like avoid women because I don't want them thinking that, you know, I'm trying to record them and stuff like that. People see me talking and they might see like the little earbud thing I have on my glasses. I try to avoid as many awkward, you know, confrontations as I can. But the real thing is nobody notices them. Nobody cares. Now I am in Alabama, North Alabama, but even when I went to Houston, when I went to Atlanta and these different places, Tennessee, nobody noticed. They just thought they were regular Ray-Bans. Some people might be like, oh, are those a smart glass? And they might go about their day. But most people do not care about the fact you have these on, depending on the situation. Now, personally, I think the LED is very visible, and I will show that in B-roll also. But yeah, I don't think that stigma around that these being pervert glasses are really gonna go away until Apple puts out their smart glasses. That's when I think the kind of turning point happens because Apple can rebrand anything into anything, honestly. And I think with Meta being the company that makes these, it's harder for people to trust it because I mean, we know how Meta does with data and privacy. But guys, if you get these, be cognizant of where you're going with these on because people will, depend on the area, might look at you a little weird. Like if you're going into a daycare and you're like, to be honest with you, if you're like a man going into a daycare with these on, think twice because come on. So that begs the question, are these worth it? Is the Meta Ray-Bans, you know, the future? And honestly, I would recommend them. I mean, they're really useful. They're really useful. Most of the AI features I just don't really care about. And being somebody this is my first kind of foray into smart glasses, these were a really good first pair. Now I would love having the audio without the cameras. Maybe if Meta does that one day, I would definitely like that. We'll see. But yeah, I would definitely recommend these. I haven't tried the Gen 1s, but if you are on Gen 1, if you're totally fine, cool. If you're looking for an upgrade, I think these will be good. But I can't say much as somebody who hasn't used Generation 1. And if you are curious, there are other glasses out there from different companies like Even Realities, and then I think Mimo Mind or something like that. There are different companies you can interact with that make these type of smart glasses without the camera or with the camera, with the audio, without it. A bunch of different options out there. But the camera is good. The conversation focus features are good. The audio is great. But who shouldn't touch these at all? Now, I think you should not touch these if you're concerned about privacy. Don't do it. I feel like it'd be more stress for you. And honestly, it's probably worth. If the cameras make you uneasy, don't buy them. And I'm not even gonna try to talk you out of it because you're not wrong. I mean, you're not wrong. We were literally in the same boat mentally like a few months ago. And if I never went to AWE, I probably never would have bought a pair. And there are the cheaper $299 versions, so it's not a crazy amount of money to get into them, but I do think for that price, they're probably the best you're gonna get. Something I didn't mention, which is crazy so late into the video, is comfort. So comfort wise, it took me probably a day or two to kind of get used to them. But I literally don't really feel much of the weight anymore. They are heavier than regular glasses, guys. I mean, duh, because they got all the stuff in there. But I think that it's okay. It's not too heavy to the point where it's uncomfortable. If you got a big head, there is ways to kind of get around that. But I think the Ray-Ban sizing is good and descriptive enough for you to find the right size and the right comfort. And honestly, if all else fails, go to Best Buy. They literally have them on display. You can try them on. And if you never want to touch a pair of these ever in your life, I totally understand. I understand completely. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. So are you for getting smart glasses or without? Are you ready for a pair with no camera? What is it? I will be doing a lens video with VR Rock as a, a little sponsorship soon. So if you want to know more about these lenses, check that out when it comes out. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I will be doing a 6-month review of these in the future. And I do have some more smart glasses coming down the line from a different company. So stay tuned. But it's been Marty VR, and remember, just a dude with a VR headset. Oh, wait, not anymore. I'm a dude with smart glasses today. Peace.